And a great big hey howdy hey to all you wonderful people out there in internet land. Welcome back to Ani-MANIC with Comic Auzi. And joining us tonight is my brother Lemon. How you doing, Lemon?
Hello.
You're doing good. Okay. Now, Lemon brought up an interesting idea, which I think we'll go ahead and use to begin our stream. And then as more people hopefully show up, we'll go ahead and bring on to a topic of discussion that I think would be very interesting. Animation as it relates to family. Both fictional cartoon families and you and your family. But let's go ahead. Man, you had an animation-related game is what you just told me?
Well, a sort of a character design type thing.
Uh-huh.
But before I get started, I'd like to mention my ultimatums for this, and it's that, like, if anybody brings up VivziePop content or Voltron in here, I will just leave.
Well, I don't know if you have to worry about that in terms of Voltron, because I pretty much take the same stance on Voltron that I do with Miraculous Ladybug, because good God, that show went downhill. Or at least from what I heard. I stopped watching it before it went downhill.
That's fair. So that's one thing I don't gotta worry about. But more importantly to the game.
To the game.
Let's play a character design game where the chat can prompt us. If they dare.
That is not a terrible idea. Like,
but the chat doesn't feel active enough, maybe?
No, but like the idea would be like someone in the chat describes a character to us, and then we gotta design based on that description, and then ultimately they'll reveal the character they were describing, right?
No, it's more like they would give it's more like they would give us a one-word prompt, and we'd have to design something based on it.
That's also a pretty interesting idea.
So, you guys in there may go ahead and give us something to work with.
I'm blind! Well, at the very least, Lemon, do you want to do that in like an Aggie so that I could stream it to the people at home? Because
Okay, let me just open an Aggie up.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be working on an old friend of ours. I'll go ahead and bring him up on screen here. You guys may be familiar with this fella. Mr. Smog. Angry cartoon factory man. Yep. I got him. He's a little bit beside himself tonight. But yeah, this is what I got. Oh, hang on. I clicked the wrong thing. Anyway. There.
Anyway, there we go.
An Aggie. What? Huh? What's this website?
So, I don't know. It's the Aggio website, but something's different about it.
Yeah, something is different. You searched Aggie, right?
Yeah.
Weird. Anyway.
I typed in the usual URL that I used, but this is where it took me.
Okay. Where's the zoom to fit button?
You gotta click the second furthest to the right button, fit on screen.
Oh, I see it. Perfect. And I'll go ahead and stream that to everybody.
Cool. And you guys may now start with your prompt.
Yep, basically you just give a one-word prompt, and Lemon will have to design a character based on that singular word. And as soon as I get the magma up. There you go. Everybody should be able to see what you're doing. Go ahead and draw something real quick.
All right, cool.
Ah, perfect. Yeah, they'll be able to see it working. Perfect.
All right, so you may begin.
Yep.
I've been having trouble drawing characters recently, which is part of why I wanted to do this.
I imagine a lot of us artists can relate to that. Bella in the chat, you could probably relate to that a little bit. And it's getting cold in here. The struggle. Indeed, the struggle indeed. I really like my little animator hat. It's such a cute little hat. Well, while we're waiting for people to give Lemon one-word prompts, we'll go ahead and switch over to the factory feed. Fluffy. Ooh. A prompt has been given, the word fluffy from Bella.
Fluffy.
Actually, why don't I just leave that on underneath? Yeah. It doesn't really change much. All right. All right. I suppose for the time being, maybe I should draw these lines in a different color so they show up well. But yeah, no. I find character. You know what's really interesting is that I have such an affinity and like desire for humanoid characters because I'm human. It's a kind of a selfish interest thing, but also like I don't know. Mr. Smog just feels like it really got me to break away from this idea of needing a character to be a living thing, period. Because I can't think of a time when I've designed a character that was an inanimate object. Like, at least not for a long time. Can you think of a character I made that was an inanimate object, man? Because I'm having a hard time thinking of one. And like a robot really doesn't count because it's a humanoid shape and it's very much not inanimate by design. But like, I don't know. It's interesting for me because like I'll make the character a fantasy. I'll make a character a fantasy creature like an elf, but an elf is a human shaped creature. So it's like there's some interest in that design. It's like oh, it looks like me, but it's got pointy ears. You know, and it's like there's something very cute with that. You know, but like I guess I don't find myself stretching to make the animal characters nearly as much. I don't stretch myself to make the inanimate object characters as much. Am I saying that, by all accounts, Mr. Smog shouldn't exist as my character? I mean, I don't know. It's just it's fascinating to think of how we, you know, analyze our own art, how we feel about it. Okay, this is subtle. The subtlety in the bend on the pipe here is. No. Hold on to that line, because what you can do is you can oh, ooh, legs, ooh. Well, what kind of creature you got going on there, Lemon? Lemon? Ah, Discord's futzing on us. You can hear internet's kind of crapping out a little bit.
Your friend, my dear friend.
Dear friend, huh?
Hey.
I'm sorry, but you're cutting out.
Hey. Give me.
Okay, I don't know if he can hear, but I'm gonna go ahead and type it out to him. Da 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 da. Don't you just
You're
hate
telling me. Am I back yet?
Yeah.
Am I back yet?
Yeah, you're here. You're here.
Okay, cool. Cool. I had to switch Wi-Fi's.
Ah, that would fix it. So yeah, what were you were saying something about this guy when I was. Yeah, so could you restate everything?
I've decided more about this guy's personality than his actual species.
That's fair.
I took my character Marcus's hair and put it on this guy and made it even fluffier.
Yeah. No, I can definitely see that influence there.
Yeah. I'm really not sure what I'm doing. Oh, here's an idea. He's basically a fawn of sorts. But in a very white boy sort of way.
Well, no, Bella, I don't think you need to get on Fizzy's case about that question because I agree. I think the quality of product is to blame for that soapy taste, honestly. Man, you've had a chocolate milk with a soapy
like an
aftertaste, right?
Product.
Yeah. Chocolate milk should not...
Only if it was expired.
Should not... Yeah, it definitely shouldn't taste like that. My thought is that it's a lesser quality product would be my guess, because I've come across it where it's not like the chocolate milk was necessarily sour or anything, or the reusable straw wasn't washed properly. I mean, I guess throwing it out would probably be the safest thing to do, but like, I don't know. You could look into the straw theory.
Okay.
Already finished
this
it.
This guy's pretty weird.
Such a little guy. Little guy hours.
What a weird. I just know he's kind of a freak. And he's just like this, our dear friend, if you will.
See, that's what I heard you say when you were cutting out earlier, so it was like... I ask questions that make you think.
Yeah. This.
Indeedy do.
Okay. So, if I were to change his hair, I would make it deer-like. Okay. This guy's obviously a young character, so...
He does look very small. I love his frame. And again, fawns are...
Very gangly. He's just like a deer with a human face, like... Yes, I don't know.
Still though, what does...
You there?
Yeah, but like what I really love about it is like, again, fawns are yet another humanoid like shape, and sure, they got the interest of non-human legs and non-human ears, and usually some form of antlers or horns. It's like, I don't know, it's just there's an appeal in having that human element. And honestly, and I think it's arms and legs, but I gotta get more creative than that, right? Like, and not just a character like a freaking factory building that should never have arms and legs for any reason, but like, you know, just any reason for it. But actually though, it does make more sense. Like, it's not that people born without arms or legs don't exist. It's just a matter of like what you're gonna do with said character. It's like Usually, I'd
Okay,
imagine there'd be a reason why your character doesn't have arms and legs.
Okay, this dumbass is wearing shoes now that are also hooves, but his front legs can't just be hooves, because that's weird. So I've decided to double down on the weird factor.
See, you took the word fluffy, and then you really just, you know, shot off like a rocket. This is really freaking creative.
You know how, like, in Wind in the Willows or other similar children's books, the animal characters will just have these jarringly human hands in the illustrations?
Yes.
I was thinking of giving this guy, like, fancy gloves.
With actual hands underneath, right?
I couldn't tell you now that I think of it.
Because those do look kind of loose. It does kind of look like he's just wearing
I can't
gloves,
tell if
but
there's
still
actual...
has hooves.
Yeah, I can't tell if he's just got hooves with gloves on him. And he's wearing shoes on his hooves as well. So that's something we could play with.
This man's is so silly, like he's straight out of Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah. I'm giving him shoes.
Boom, boom, boom. He is so fluffy. I love his fluffy energy. What a fluff.
He is fluffy. He's also very unusual. I think he's just a deer who happens to have a human head, like one of those siren creatures where it's just a bird with a human face.
Isn't that...
But, like,
isn't that
he's also trying on human gloves.
I'm sorry, isn't that called a harpy?
No, harpies are specifically old women with old women birds.
Old ladybirds, saggy tits.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Let's give this guy some fucking knees, some fluffy knees. Oh yeah. Nothing about this character design makes any sense, and I'm kind of living for it.
I have a harpy OC who's in her... Well, you know, mythologically speaking, in, like, harpy terms, I think harpies have also come to, you know, be younger as well. You know, come in younger varieties.
And less flesh-eating.
That too. The flesh-eating thing was kind of a turn-off for some people, so they kind of thought, like, what if they didn't eat your flesh off and just took you around like Superman, you know, just carrying you around by their talons and just flying you. I love this little man's. He's so silly.
I have no idea why he even has a human face. It doesn't make sense.
You say that, but I was watching a video on YouTube the other night about, like, why we have angels all wrong, and, like, about how cherubims have, like, have a human face, a lion face, an eagle face, and then, like, another face on the other side.
It's just one variant. There's bunches of cherubims that, like, all share those traits, but differently placed.
Yeah, but, like, I forgot what the other animal was or something, but like the idea
a
being...
bull, an eagle,
yeah.
a horse, and a man.
Yeah, but, like, there's, like, but it's, like, all these faces are, like, all around the, like, facing forward, backward, left, and right, just, like, 4 faces on one head. So it's, like, honestly, just one singular human face on an animal is not the freakiest shit, honestly. It's just like, there are scarier.
Someone joined our call. I can't tell who though.
It looks like our dear friend Z.
Hello.
Guess I should have figured.
I didn't know if they'd show up, but everybody, welcome the incomparable ZD! Give it up!
Hello. Hi.
Woo!
Yes, hello.
So how you?
I'm good.
Hey Z! You could follow the magma link that Lemon put in the chat and actually draw with him.
Amazing.
Yeah. Now, Lemon has initiated a game where basically taking one word from the chat and then making a character based off of that one word prompt. So if anybody else in the chat would like to give Z a prompt, otherwise they could just go off and just draw random shit. After we get some time in, we'll go ahead and and Fizzy gives the word harpy. Oh, and Squad gives the
Harpy.
Okay.
We were talking about harpies and sirens and sea.
We were on a bit of a train of thought there.
Something about our dear friend here is that he likes to wear little human clothes. But he doesn't know anything about humans.
Oh my goodness.
He just knows that people often compare him to one because, like, oh dear, you're such a funny little boy. And he's like, I'm not a boy. I'm just a little guy.
I'm just a little guy.
The little guy,
He
little
doesn't
man.
even know what this boy's concept is.
How's everyone doing on this Tuesday? I'm doing good. If Bella is tired as fuck. That is not fun. I think Z can share in that sentiment.
Yeah, I am very tired.
And apparently so can Squad.
Oh shit. Okay.
Seeing as this is an animation stream, this is actually a perfect topic of discussion here, Squad. About the HBO Max controversy. Yes, when Discovery and Warner Brothers merged, and
Every bit of animation, goddamn.
Discovery basically purged like
Now, that's
50
a controversy I'm willing to get into.
50 to
because holy shit.
60% of their animated lineup. Like, good lord, just making it vanish. And then they lost more money than they were trying to save. So
It was all supposed to be a tax write-off.
yeah, they were trying to save money on, like, you know, the amount they were paying to license the shows for the streaming service, but by removing them from said streaming service, their stock value dropped or something. Like, boom.
Oh.
It tanked. They were trying to save $3 billion, lost $20 billion.
Wow.
Nearly 7 times the amount of money they were trying to save, they lost. So, they're not looking so hot. And to add insult to injury, motherfucking Netflix is looking at picking up some of their canceled projects. So,
Thank God.
you know
it's gonna survive out here.
it says something when Netflix, that doesn't have the biggest respect for their own animated stuff, is going to take the frickin' projects dumped by HBO Max because Discovery merged with Warner Brothers and the being an idiot, you know? It's just so funny. Actually,
Anyway.
I have something related to this as well that I could bring up. I think it's in my bookmarked tweets. I think.
It's weird.
I think so.
Aka waka maka Mia was a puffer fish. Being bigger than a puffer was his only wish, so then he huffed, he puffed, he billowed, and he blew.
No, looks like it'll be in my likes. Let me just scroll here for a minute. Scribbly bribbly. It's gonna take a little bit. But this is some funny shit.
Oh god, the delay.
The delay.
The delay, my boy.
I'm not having lag. You're having lag?
No. Not the lag, the delay. On the...
Okay, okay, so the tweet says, props to whoever wrote this on David Zaslav's Wikipedia page. It's gone now, but thankfully I screenshotted it last night. And it says, Dave Zaslav, born January 15th, 1960, is an American media executive and corporate bonehead who currently serves as chief executive officer and president of Warner Brothers Discovery. So, that's fun. That's fun. Just
That's very fun.
corporate bonehead. Feel free to use that in any appropriate context because Bob Chapek is also a corporate bonehead. Oh Lord, we have fun here at Ani-MANIC with Comic Auzi and Lemon and Z, but like
Anyway, there's our guy,
Fluffy.
Ah, baby.
Starting uni classes tomorrow. That's something to look forward to. Yay! Hopefully you enjoy. Don't understand how economics and stocks work, so my brain is just fax machine noises. Well, basically, in terms of the stock market, basically what that means is basically people put their money to back a company, and that money will they'll increase their value based on the stock they hold in the company. So when the company is doing financially well, their stock goes up. And the idea of stock is that you buy it when it's cheap, and then you sell it when it's worth a lot of money, and then you have all that money. So that's what the stock market is like. And so when Warner Brothers stock drops because it merges with Discovery, and Discovery nukes a bunch of animated shows, basically means the investors are going to be very unhappy with this quarter. So yeah. I've seen that moment from Monsters Inc. repurposed for the memes related to the controversy, like, I'll cancel 1,000 projects before I let this company die!
Oh, Jesus.
It makes no sense! The creator of Infinity Train is encouraging people to pirate his show, and on the topic of Infinity Train, it is one of the most purchased things on digital media between iTunes and Google Play, so that's... It just goes to show you. It's like, if you won't give it to us on your streaming platform, then we'll buy it elsewhere. Because you don't want that disappearing on you. This is why physical media will never die. This is why physical media will live on. Son of a bitch.
Yes.
I was given the prompt excitable, and instead of designing a character, I'm just drawing one of my dudes.
Little dudes. Ooh, loving that harpy so far, Z. I know it's just it's just an upper torso so far, but she's gonna look very pretty.
Thank you. I also really like drawing wings, so like I got very excited when somebody said harpy.
Oh boy. Oh, this will be.
Yeah, she might just be a torso, honestly. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
I have that problem where like I draw a character and then it's like, ah, great pose. I don't know what to do with the arms, so I guess they're disarmed. You're not allowed to have arms anymore.
Oh, she's thick. I'm keeping it.
Ooh, chunky.
Chunka baby.
Went to a show hosted by the university's improv team. Ooh, 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 ooh. How was that? That sounds like fun. Boop, boop, boop. On the topic of animation. Or I guess improv. Because improv is cool. Fucking tired to the point where I swear one of the members looked like comics to an alarming degree. Did he have my beautiful beard? My marvelous mustache? My colossal curls? Like, what did he have? Like,
Colossal curls.
I don't know. Just trying to keep the alliteration going.
I mean, sure.
Probably gonna alter a little bit of the squiggle on this smokestack when the pipe bulge goes up. But like, it just occurred to me, if I'm animating this huffing puffing smokestack thing, not directly related to animation, I did not see the trailer for it. I saw the image, and I saw like that one image that went around. So honestly, I don't know.
God, this thing does not act at all like my art program, so I'm just...
Keep having this version in my head that a parent will see that it's Winnie the Pooh and then decide it's okay to take their kid and then traumatize their kid when they go to a Disney theme park, and they'll freak the hell out whenever they see Pooh. Yeah, that's
How do I deselect?
I don't know. Shorter hair, no glasses, and tattoos. Huh. Well, time to go get a haircut and a couple of tattoos, I guess. Oh, and also maybe some LASIK, because I cannot wear contacts.
What do I deselect? Oh my god.
Also validates my childhood fear of the winking Pooh doll. Oh, Lord.
Oh, okay, I know what this is now.
You know,
Alright.
I'm
use
not...
that for the future.
You know, it's so interesting, right? It's like,
You know what?
so
I'm gonna use that right now,
once A.A. Milne's characters enter the public domain, everybody so thoroughly associates Winnie the Pooh with Disney that they decide that they need to corrupt it instead of, you know, actually seeing what they could do with the material. You know, like, maybe, just maybe, instead of, you know, trying to scare the fuck out of people and confuse parents, maybe you could do something legit with the staple of characters of Christopher Robin's Enchanted Neighborhood.
Oh, Control D. That's how you do it. Okay.
Where'd you figure that out?
Huh? Oh, in the edit tab.
Ah!
Click the edit tab, just to see.
That'd do it.
Yeah. Just see if the deselect was there. And it was, and it said, oh, you can also Control D to deselect. I was like, oh, okay.
I do have a doppelganger in Victorious. Was the Nickelodeon sitcom that featured the actor.
Yeah, that's right!
Everybody kept telling me I look like
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Everybody kept telling me I look like Robbie from Victorious.
Absolutely you do.
And they're not
There's like,
they're
I'm
not wrong.
Arguing.
They're not wrong. Wait. I look like Robbie from Victorious. Why didn't Robbie from Victorious play Weird Al in the new Weird Al biopic?
No, I don't know.
Hey, that's the question.
It's like everybody keeps telling me, it's like, did you know you look like Weird Al? At least 5 times a year. Somebody says it. Honestly, yeah, no, it's like, that just popped into my head. Because my mother was kind of like, you should be the one playing Weird Al, not the boy who lived.
The boy who lived.
Obviously, she didn't say that. She doesn't give a fuck or know a fuck about Harry Plopper.
Harry Flopper.
Isn't that what Homer Simpson called his pig at one point?
Yes,
Yeah.
he did.
Don't think Matt Bennett has curly hair anymore. You sure? Because last image I looked at, his hair was still pretty curly. I'm gonna look this up.
Okay. Itchy.
Matt Bennett. I think the only problem is that he's keeping his hair super duper short. And if you have curls like mine, or like his, when you keep your hair super duper short, it, it doesn't curl, you know? It's like when you're...
Yeah. My little brother actually has curly hair, and when he cuts his hair short, it doesn't curl.
Yeah, it's like, it's far more obvious. Good fucking lord. I'm gonna pop this in here because this particular image is so unfucking canny. Like that's me. That is just me without the mustache and beard, and I'm kind of frightened. What year was this? Who signed off on this? 2010? Good lord. So, he was what I looked like 10 years before I looked like it, I guess. Like, good lord. Good fucking lord.
OMFG.
I would have been in kindergarten. In 2010? No, wait, no, that's probably right.
That's correct. It has to be right. That's correct, right?
Boom.
I knew in kindergarten. Sweet. They said that I was smart. I was good at sports. People liked me. In that time once we shared a meal.
I mean, you want to talk about inappropriate films for children and, like, you know, in a way that would be very confusing for dumb soccer moms. The Sausage Party Red Band trailer playing in front of Finding Dory that one time.
Oh my god.
You guys remember that story? That was
No.
kind of fucked up, but also a little funny. The Red Band trailer for Sausage Party with all the swearing and shit accidentally got played in front of a screening of Finding Dory.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh
God,
no.
Fucking itchy.
Less than ideal, I'd say.
Absolutely.
The horse its wings flew down to on its back.
Yeah.
Here, I've shrunken Marcus to scale next to Fluff.
I think because I want to get... I only brought up Sausage Party because I wanted to get poo, blood, and honey off my mind. And now I said it out loud. And I'm thinking about it.
You idiot! You moron!
Absolute ignoramus.
Anyway, that's what Marcus looks like right now.
Baby.
You mean super fucking cute?
Yeah.
Baby boy.
Who's Marcus's boyfriend in the future?
Darren.
So I'm just getting an image in my head of, like, Angela saying, Marcus, why does Darren call you baby girl?
Well, maybe let's stop talking for now. Oh god.
I saw a few of those with, like, Gus asking Hunter, why does Willow call you baby girl?
Maybe we should stop talking for now.
I would not do that with them. Those are teenagers.
Clever.
Those are teenagers. I don't know, man.
What? Willow and Hunter?
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have to be a sexual thing.
No, it doesn't.
That's coming from me.
Can you believe
everything is a sex joke to me?
Alright.
If you can believe it, I watched a video with someone explaining why the Owl House is no longer fitting the Disney brand. But it was someone who was so unfamiliar with the Owl House that he swore that fans shipped Hunter and Gus? And I'm like, what the fuck, man? That is not a ship I've heard of ever.
I think there's like 2 or 3 people who ship it.
Yeah, 2 or 3. This is not like a ubiquitous thing in the slightest. It's Gus and Matt, because they're the same age group. Like, come the fuck on, dude.
It's been a while since
Gus can do better. I'm sorry. That's all.
I mean, yes, Gus can do better, but my point is, this guy was just being really weird, and like a little off about a ship that isn't even popular. Like, it doesn't even. It's like. It's like if you take one step closer, I'll kill this man, and it's a Hunter Gus shipper, and then the Owl House fandom, kill him, he's not our man. That's a great Pirates of the Caribbean like thing to, that's gotten a lot of use, especially in the furries versus the animal fuckers. What do they call themselves?
Yif.
No.
Zoophiles?
Zoophiles, yes, thank you. It's like coming in closer, I'll kill the zoophile. It's like, kill him, he's not our man. It's like, it's getting a lot of traction. Who was this? Who was it? I could go into my YouTube search history.
Yeah,
it's busy.
I'm gonna go make myself dinner. I don't know if I'm coming back at all, but there you go. Now you know where I went. Bye bye.
Bye bye. He's gone. Let's talk about him.
I will fucking shove your own throat down your throat. Think about it for a second.
Well, it sounds like you wouldn't have to travel very far in order to do that. Let's see. Now, if I go back over the thing, and who do and la 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 la, and who do and la 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 la. Wait, no, hold it. What? Where the fuck is it? Where the fuck is it? Did I only watch it on my phone? If so, I've got my phone right here, and I can just check it out there. Seems like something I would watch elsewhere, but you know, I guess not. Watched that here on the computer. Oh, let's turn off the stupid Wi-Fi thing.
Harpies also have sharp as fuck ears. Let's go. Pointy fucking ears.
Let's see.
Fucking do this shit. Pointy ears.
You know, I'm just gonna search it up. Is that that's what she said? What? I must have missed. I must have missed something.
I don't know.
Yeah, forget it. It doesn't matter where the video came from. It's like, because it pretty much says all the stuff that you expect them to say. Yeah, the Disney was canceling the Owl House for bullshit reasons. They're all bullshit. Everything Disney ever said was a lie. There is no Easter Bunny, there is no Santa Claus, and there is no Queen of England. You know, just.
And there is no Queen of England.
That's my favorite line from that movie.
It's a good fucking movie.
I fucking love that movie. It's so good.
Well, while we have a moment, you got a lot of people in chat now, so I want to hand over the reins to the audience. I want to hear about animation as it pertains to family. Either the fictional families from something animated, or how animation relates to you and your relationship with your family and all that jazz. Because there's a lot of... So, like, I want to hear all what y'all think in regards to the familial connections of animation.
Lilo and Stitch, bitch.
Well, I mean, if you just wanna rip everybody's heart right out of the ribcage and then throw it on the floor and stomp it until they cry, sure, why not?
Lilo and Stitch. It's so good.
It is a very good fucking movie. Like,
and it's like, it's all about family too. I think that's like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's like the first Disney movie where there wasn't an explicit like love interest.
You mean where there wasn't one?
An explicit love, yes.
Yeah, no, that's true. Because David was kind of implied, but he wasn't explicit.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely played a lot more with that in the direct-to-video sequels and the TV show. But yeah, no, that is actually very true. And it's because, like, you can just have a friend. Ohana means family, bitches. Thanks, Bella. But, like, honestly, it's like, yeah, no, Lilo and Stitch was also a pretty important film for Disney because it was a success in 2D animation that they really needed at the time, because it came right off the heels of Atlantis and Treasure Planet, and they needed a success, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sure, they had their live action department, and Pirates of the Caribbean fucking nailed it, but, like, as far as animated films go, Lilo and Stitch was a real lifesaver, and I think part of the reason that it did so well was because of its ingenious marketing campaign, if you really think about it, because the marketing for Lilo and Stitch basically introduced the idea of Stitch being a part of the Disney family, because all of the teasers were him showing up inappropriately in scenes in Disney Renaissance films, in Beauty and the Beast, in The Little Mermaid, in The Lion King, in what was the other one? The fourth one, Aladdin. And these teasers, like, were very successful at really, like, shaking things up and making Stitch feel like he's a part of our Disney family, but he's not quite he's the troublemaker. You know, they kind of gave him that energy, which lines up with his arc in the film to to learn to be a better person.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's like,
I fucking loved those ads as a kid. I was just like, oh my goodness, I want to see that movie, Daddy.
Yeah, it was
Father.
It was such ingenious marketing as well, because it got, like,
Father, I must see it.
But yeah, no, I definitely think, like, and then it hits you, like, cause, like, sure, the trailers reveal this goofy little alien who's an absolute shitlord, a literal demon child, and of course the movie has that, and it has alien shenanigans galore, but the whole movie, from both sides, from outer space and here on Earth, it's all about family, because it's like, Jumba, like, sees Stitch as a threat, but also, understandably, Jumba is concerned because, like even if he won't show it, because he prefers to be an evil genius, part of his shtick is that he ultimately does care about Stitch, because, like, he put his heart and soul into this creation, this little monster.
What? There you go, Bew.
He really just prefers evil genius, and then he found a family with all these new people on Earth. It's really great. So yeah, I could go on about some of the changes made for Lilo and Stitch in the light of 9/11 that ultimately kind of screwed a few minor things up, but ultimately, not a big deal. But perhaps we could save that in another time when make a topic of discussion for one episode where animation gets censored. But I want to read from the chat because the chat actually has a couple of comments here. Squad says, when I first watched Hilda, I thought the relationship between her and her mother was the best mother-daughter relationship in media. I was disappointed that it wasn't as good in season 2. Actually, this is great. Okay, so Z, have you seen Hilda?
Yes, I have. I've seen season 1 and 2, I think.
All right.
No, I've only seen season 1.
Okay, well, spoilers for Hilda. But the relationship between Hilda and her mother is so awesome because of how not only a positive relationship between a child and parent it is, but also for how realistically so it is, because they are both people, they'll both make mistakes, and they'll both let each other down. And that's what led to the rift in season 2, and that rift is a big part of the plot in Hilda and the Mountain King, which is the finale movie for the whole show. So yeah, no, it's actually really well done. I think they actually did the drama very well. Personally, it's like so many shows would be like, oh, the parent, it almost feels like the parent sees the child as a burden, or they don't really love them. But with Hilda, oh, there's gonna be a 3rd season? Oh, I did not know that. Well, okay, the season finale movie. Because it basically is like a finale to season 2, because it carries from a season 2 cliffhanger and has its own satisfying conclusion. But that is awesome. I did not know that. Let's fucking go. And on the topic of new seasons, Paranormal Park is going to be getting a 2nd season. So woot woot, still need to watch it. I'm a really bad cartoon enthusiast. I gotta watch that damn show. All right. And now from Fizzy. Family's been like, you're an artist, how have you not seen Snow White? We've failed you as familial figures. I mean, I don't think that's necessarily fair for them to say, because it's like, honestly, you're not obligated to, as a parent, the only obligation to your child, I think, would be to, make sure they're ready for the world and to keep them safe when they can't do so for themselves. So honestly, and I feel like nurturing your imagination and your creativity in ways like showing you stories in fashions like books or movies, and getting your own brain excited for new ideas and such is definitely a good thing and definitely an important part of parenting. But I mean, my question is, which version of Snow White? I just think it's funny. Yeah, it is funny. Because, we could talk about, only animated versions of Snow White, which, that would be an interesting topic of discussion. I think we should just, I think next week I'll, make it a plan that next week we will, group watch another animated movie, where I'll do a running commentary of the film. So, I'm just gonna throw that out there. I think that's what we will be doing. So yeah. That all having been said, no, yeah. I definitely think I think I definitely say I'm pretty thankful to my parents raising me with the entertainment that they did, because it's informed a lot of who I am. And as an adult, I've come to my own understandings and conclusions about what these things mean to me, if they still mean anything to me. And, I think I'm definitely a better person for having grown up with the kindness and generosity of the Disney heroes and heroines, honestly. Because if you want your child to have a good fucking role model, like Disney has over 50 films worth of good role models.
Absolutely.
Like, I'd be hard pressed to name a Disney movie where the hero was such a horrible person. Or at the very least, you know, in the case of The Emperor's New Groove, didn't become a better person by the end. I'd be surprised if you were in that scenario, you know?
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think I'm getting...
Yeah, hang on. I gotta text, a brother of mine real quick. Here. Let's see. Where is that one? I think that'll do. Okay, cool. My dad is actually getting delusioned with Disney right now. He doesn't know. He doesn't like how woke they are. Oh, Lord.
No.
Oh, boy.
Uh-oh.
Sounds like your dad needs to examine some personal biases. Yeah. Anyway, Fizzy also says, otherwise within the family, my sister and I have always been artistic, but neither of us pursued it. Also in high school, a lot of staff knew me as the girl who makes stop motion. He says he wants to be entertained, not educated. Okay. No. Like, to assume that Disney is trying to educate with, including anyone that's a minority in any way, shape, or form is a falsity, because all Disney is really doing in terms of, like, bringing, like, minorities to the forefront in their projects is, well, is to look good publicly. Like, it's PR, for one. A number two thing is that there is some emphasis to wanting to, you know, depict the world as it is and not as it was. And I say that, not as it is and not as it was, because even in films that are, like, tangentially historical, like they aren't, like, actually historical. Nobody's gonna claim that the Snow Queen is historically accurate. But there is a difference in the diversity of the Arendelle population between the first movie and the second movie. It's pretty noticeable that, like, old-time Norway is very white in the first movie, and then you just have some random, like, people of color walking around. I mean, definitely not any Asian people, but, like, definitely a lot of black people walking around in old Norway. So honestly, it's like, good for you, Disney. Could you do it in a way that it makes sense, like with Moana, where the entire population is people of color because they're isolated from the entire rest of the world, and they're kind of like, you know, like, just you know, it's weird. It's weird. It's an interesting topic of discussion to get into, to certainly say the least. Have Disney actually been improving, or are they just trying to earn social brownie points? And if I hear one more time that Disney is introducing their first game character, I will gut a fish. Or choke a bitch. I don't know. One of the two. Like, it's...
Got a fish, choke a bitch. Got a bitch.
Yeah, people who complain about dark-skinned characters are racist. You know, that's just like there is no way to say it otherwise. People who complain about dark-skinned characters are racist. And yes, racists should be ignored. Yeah. Ah, man. It's the world we live in is like everybody likes to see all the progress we've made, but I feel like we still need to be cognizant of the very pretty Harpy.
Oh, thank you. I'm not the fastest artist, so bear with me.
Your dad doesn't have problems with minorities in general. He just thinks that Disney is just doing things in some cases to appeal to certain demographics. Yeah. I mean, like, who did you think Black Panther was made for? White people? Like, no.
Still an entertaining movie.
It's an entertaining movie and anybody can watch it, but like, it's like, it's kind of like My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. It was made for young girls to sell toys. Just because it was made for someone doesn't necessarily mean everyone can't enjoy it. Like, it'd be pretty gatekeeping to say that only Asian Canadian people could watch Turning Red. You know? It's like... He actually does like Black Panther. My whole family does. Again, so it's like, I don't understand, like... Well... Is he homophobic then?
So why is he like singling out Disney specifically then?
I do wonder what exactly gets Weird Wolf. Oh, Weirdo Wolf. Welcome back. It's been a while, my mans.
Oh, who dat?
Yeah. Also, yeah, that's another thing. It's like in plenty of cases you can relate to any character, but in terms of representation mattering, it's like, yeah, people do want to see a character who looks like them. So this adorable little thing on Twitter where a little Colombian girl with glasses, this little South American girl, she's just like with glasses and like looking at Mirabelle on the TV. It's like, it looks like me. Or maybe she wasn't, or maybe she wasn't Colombian, but she had the same skin tone and hair and glasses as Mirabelle. It was very uncanny. It's like, oh, this is what she looked like in her toddler years. But yeah, no. And the boy who looked like Antonio, exactly. It's like it's all a matter of perspective, and it's like, I don't know. I don't understand exactly. He's not homophobic. He just doesn't think some people's sexuality should be their main selling point. Agreed. On the other hand, sounds like he has a little bit of an issue. Like, yes, I definitely do think there is an issue. Sweetest thing ever, give you diabetes. But like, I do think that the issue with Disney, like, making a character gay and then just, you know, being able to brush it off or edit it out of the foreign release is a problem. I also think it's a problem to say, take this idea as like, oh, this character is gay, and then leave it at that, but do nothing else, you know? Like, because that is a problem. When you take a character and say, they're gay, it's like, okay, then you're gonna have to do one of two things for me. And actually, like, you're gonna have to do one thing. Like, one thing at least. Either A, you give that character a running personality beyond just being gay, and then you'll be allowed to ship them with someone, like, in canon. Because the whole, like, one of the big reasons that people flipped out so much over Lumity was because Amity and Luz were established characters, fully fleshed out with their own wants and desires, before Amity had a crush on her. Like, they were fully developed characters, so nobody had any problems with them being cute together. And the thing is, when they got together, nothing about them changed, you know? They were still the same people. Like, still the same wants, still the same desires. Well, okay, some of their wants and desires changed. like Amity didn't want to join a coven anymore. But it's also that she still has desires outside of Luz. She wants to do the Bonesboro Brawl like her dad. It's like, again, this is all stuff that, like, these are motivations that go beyond just the romantic relationship these two kids have. So it's like, I think what your dad is taking issue with are just these shallow, hey, we put a gay character in the background, or we said this character was gay but actually did nothing with it. It's like, I'll say something about The Jungle Cruise is a good movie. I watched it on the plane home from Disney World or something like that. And honestly, the thing with The Jungle Cruise is like, one of the main characters has a brother who is gay, and he talks about this with the main skipper in the movie. But the main relationship in the movie is heterosexual between the sister and the skipper, and this brother character is talking in such vague language that not only could the scene easily be, you know, taken to mean other things, like it could be like, I mean, it's not as so vague that you couldn't understand, oh, he's gay, as opposed to, oh, he's actually she and she's trans. But no, it's like he's talking in such language, and like this scene is so short and isolated, it could easily be edited out of the movie and nothing would change. So it's like, fishy is what I smell. That it's like, how neat that you let the character be sincere about it, and how it's that your sister actually stands up for you and all that. Is like, that's great, that's wonderful. Give him a boyfriend at the end of the movie, why don't you?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Also, interesting that the one gay character in the movie is a little bit of a prima donna.
Of course. Of course.
He's the stuffy British kind of gay, where it's like he has all the luggage and he must have all his, like, yes, these are all necessities, you know, kind of character.
Oh no, they're doing stereotypes.
So
it's bullshit.
So that definitely and now that I say that out loud, yeah,
that's bullshit.
Whoops.
Like absolute bullshit.
It's like when they decided to remake Lady and the Tramp in live action and replace the Siamese cats with their racist singing and shit with black cats with black voices doing rap. Do you not see what you're doing here, Disney? Are you not cognizant of the decisions that you're making? Like, come on! Come on!
Did you actually do that though? I never saw
No, yes, no, it's true. These are facts. I looked, okay, what did they do with the cats? It's like, good lord. Son of a fucking...
Oof.
Disney! I thought you...
Big oof.
I actually had a problem with Lumity at first because I didn't see why Amity had a crush on her, since up to that point Luz had mostly made her life more difficult. I actually felt that Luz and Willow had more chemistry at first, but I'm fine with Lumity now. I think part of it is because it's this things where it's like, I think the one line that sticks out to why Lumity felt so appropriate and why Amity's crush felt so appropriate is that she talks about her, and of course it's like Amity's like probably always been a lesbian, probably just didn't realize it up to a certain point, and Luz... I wouldn't say that Luz is necessarily her discovery of that, necessarily. Which would mean that there's a reflection on, like, feelings. It's like, yeah, she's cute, but I don't want to admit that. But as she grows to know Luz more, the crush develops a little more. And the one line that cinches it for me is, maybe you aren't a bully, I haven't been the friendliest witch either, I'll think on that. In that Amity is not a heel face turn. She actually, like, she definitely reflects these things on herself and very quietly beats herself up for things like breaking off her friendship with Willow. And these are things you only know after the fact, because Amity and Willow's relationship breaking up was the result of their parents just telling her to not do it. And someone set off the fire alarm again. And they'll have to deal with that. Enjoy the beeping in the background, guys. But yeah. And I agree with Weird Old Wolf. Lumity is the most well-written couple I've seen in a while, and I love that Luz wasn't all about being bi, and Emmy wasn't all about being gay. They're more fleshed out, which is something I love. Another thing I love about the Owl House is that they didn't make Rain being non-binary such a big deal. All the characters just, you know, I'll amend this. All the characters just correctly used their pronouns offhandedly like it was nothing. Because that's the real thing. Yeah, somebody's just, you know, cooking in the kitchen and, you know, just getting things all, yeah. Somebody needs to open a door. Yeah. Anyway.
Plot twist, your house is actually on fire.
Oh, no! Nope, they got the fire alarm turned off. Hoorah. And honestly, squad, I don't blame you. There are some people who ship Luz and Willow, and not unwarranted. They did have some pretty good chemistry when it started out. Who committed arson? I love Ida and Rain's relationship. Yeah. Yeah.
We're on to the hands, and I don't like hands. I can't draw hands.
That's probably a lie.
I can't draw hands.
That's probably a lie.
But I can't draw hands, though.
I think you're lying, because you've done it before.
I've done it before, but that was after like 50 million years of fudging with it. Then I was like, good enough.
Fucking mood. It is a mood. It is a mood. It's like, hands, what do I do with you? Because my problem with hands is like not necessarily knowing what to do with them. Like with arms, it's like, okay, do I draw the character with hands? Because, like, the arm is sitting out there in the open. It's like, there needs to be a hand on there, and it's like, I don't know what the fuck to do with that hand. Somebody send help. Let's see. I probably alienated half the people in this chat with my controversial opinions. I don't think they're controversial at all. A lot of people have actually felt this way. Was Lumity rushed? Was there really any chemistry there? Why the fuck did they get together? I felt like there was a little, like, there was more chemistry with these other characters. It's like, shipping wars are a thing, but I think, in general, like, nobody's going to begrudge anyone for having those opinions, honestly, because, honestly, people have felt like that. And it's like, for me, I immediately latched on to Lumity because it's like, holy fuck, a canon ship. A canon ship. We've got one, ladies and gentlemen. It's like, we've got a canon ship before the fucking season 1 ends. Like, holy fuck, this never happens. And, you know, when it does happen, they always constantly bait us. So, again, knocking at Hootie's door was, mwah, chef's kiss. Anyway, what's your opinion on Darius having a fanon crush on Amity's dad? Oh, Darius and Alador.
Yes.
I ship it.
Absolutely, I do too.
Z's gaydar probably went off the rails.
Yeah, I did. I was like, huh.
I mean, I think Z can make a testament to Alador being a very, very attractive individual.
I was obsessing over Darius, not Alador.
Right, sorry. Darius, my bad. I got the names flipped up in my head for a minute there. Still need to see that episode. What, the gay kiss between Alador and Darius? Yeah, that was such a good... I'm lying, that's not an episode. But it could be.
Please let it be. I needs it.
As much as I don't like Amity's mom, I do like that she wasn't homophobic. Actually, that was something that Dan Terrace mentioned, is that homophobia and similar, you know, prejudices don't exist on the Boiling Isles. And that's to kind of offset all the literal nightmares, like the fairies that want to eat your skin, or the acid rain. The boiling rain, my bad. Don't tease me, comic. Sorry. Technically, that episode does exist, because if you follow Mooring Mark, he does comics that are so well drawn. And they're really funny, and sometimes they're heartwarming, and sometimes they're heartbreaking. It's like Mooring Mark. You can find him on Twitter, Instagram. It's like, he's great.
Oh, I think I follow him on Tumblr, actually.
And Tumblr, yes, he's on Tumblr as well. He was all the way back making comics for the Gravity Falls and Star Versus fandoms, so this guy's been around the block. He does great stuff. So go follow Mooring Mark if you aren't already. He's a great guy, great comics, great stories. It's great. He does such a good job at it.
What program is this website based off of?
I'd soon guess probably like Clip Studio and Photoshop.
Well, I should probably get myself some, like, Clip Studio then, because I'm liking this.
Well, Clip Studio is not free.
I know it's not. It's like $50, I think.
Yows. I love the comics featuring Luz, V, and Hunter as siblings living in the human realm. It's such a good dynamic. Oh, this is see, Mooring Mark is giving the season 3 that we deserve. It's not the one that's canon, but it's the one that we need right now while we wait for season 3 to come out. Also, on the topic of animation and interest in storytelling, apparently, the Collector, this big important figure that was teased all the way back in Knock Knock Knockin' at Hootie's Door, was a last-minute decision to change the way that season 2 ends in order for season 3 to come out the way it's going to come out. So, wow. And it makes me wonder what was changed, and I think that Knock Knock Knockin' on Hootie's Door had to have been the way it was even before season 3 got canceled, and I'll tell you why. Because that design of a Collector figure has no similarity to the Collector that we eventually got, even when he was Shadows on the Wall, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like, it's basically this ingenious moment of taking what would have been just a bounty hunter that found the Owl Beast and then turned the Owl Beast into the cursed scroll. But now, connecting that to the Collector by giving the Collector similar motifs with a Starfield cape and a half-sun moon face look. Honestly, it's kind of in-fucking genius. Like, it is so brilliant, and I love when people will recontextualize these things. Retcon, that's what it is, it's retcon. I love it when people will retcon these things. Retroactively change what we knew by giving us new information.
Absolutely.
I will say the only thing that doesn't really make a lot of sense in this context is Amity, like, bullying Willow randomly in the middle of the woods. It's like, but did she really have to keep up the illusion that hard? Though I will forgive that for the fact that she is saying, in private at least, that she wants Willow to improve and keep at it. Even if she's being very mean about it. Because, like, I don't know, I guess she's formed a habit out of it. That's the only thing that doesn't quite add up, because it's like, and I think part of that is the real turn for Amity was not like, it was like, I think the real turning point for Amity was the convention, you know? It was this realization that, fuck, man, I've put a lot of work in, so maybe this human does have something going on, I guess. But she's still in denial that that the whole joining a coven and being the best in school is her dream. It's not her dream. Her mother has convinced her that it is. And that's what I'm talking about retcon, because it's like because it doesn't necessarily need to be completely unintended, but it needs to retroactively change your point of view. It's like, oh, Amity's not being like this to Willow because she wants to. It's because her mother conditioned her to do so. And it's like, yeah. And it just makes us hate Odalia even more. Because when we see the way how Odalia talks to people is very similar to the way that Amity talked down to Willow in that moment, it's like, oh, now I hate you even more, you bitch. You know? It's like, oh, yeah. She's really, okay. It's like, and even the twins, even the Blight twins will mention how Amity never gets, it's like, Amity's always, like, getting us in trouble, and yet Amity reversely says that the twins get away with everything. But it's like, what? So who's right? It's like, damn. It's like, there's this idea here. You know? Meanwhile, I have no idea what the collector's deal is. Hey, Fizzy, have you caught up yet? Have you gotten a chance to watch the Owl House by now? Because I don't know if I'm spoiling anything for you or not. No? You know, you just gotta go watch it. Honestly, I swear. The number of times where I've been like, damn it all, you know, normally I'd be able to wait for Z, but I just gotta watch this episode now to know what happens because I'm dying inside.
I fucking dare you, by the way. I fucking dare you. That was our thing. That was our thing.
I know it's our thing.
It's our thing. And you just, how dare you?
The twisted part was the necklace, so her mother was controlling her from a young age. Yeah, there's some retroactive holy shit moment. You know, honestly, actually, funny thing, the necklace was a direct line of communication telepathically between Odalia and Amity, right? So basically, it did exactly what Alex Hirsch was trying to do with the bell in the Northwest Mystery Mansion Noir. Where the little bell was supposed to signify, like, that there was supposed to, like, the whole thing with the bell is, like, people were like, holy shit, what did Pacifica's parents do to her? It got people into some really dark places when the whole idea that Alex wanted to get at, based on his commentary track, was that they're basically treating her, they're basically treating her like a pet. So, like, they've conditioned her like Pavlov, you know, just like, and besides, it could be as, like, what they do could have been as benign as, you know, take away her third cell phone for you know, a week, if that. It's one of those things where it's like, but with Odalia having a direct line of communique with Amity without anyone else having to hear, we actually get an examination of exactly the threats that Odalia is making to Amity, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it hits even harder.
Absolutely.
Also because, Squad says, also because I feel kind of guilty for what I said about him. I don't get the wrong idea about my dad. He's a good person. I think he just... and someone I look up to and who supports me. He's just a bit old-fashioned. Yeah, I feel that. I mean, not personally, but it happens. I'm sorry. Again, nothing mean against you. Nothing to say against your dad. But, like, I was just reminded of a joke from Tony Goldmark, where he was like, it's a little long story, but the whole point was that he was pretending to talk to Doc Brown. It's like, yeah, Doc, I get where you're coming from, but there's no need to bring racial epithets to it. He's from a different time, so send him back to it.
Yeah.
I just think that's a really funny line, because Doc Brown's time traveled, blah, blah, blah. Anyway.
I got it. I got the joke.
That's the joke. I feel like Amity's mom made her dye her hair green just to keep it the perfect... Yeah, no, Dana basically confirmed that. If it wasn't already obvious, like, yeah.
Yeah.
I think she did so also on her Instagram by saying, like, the siblings all match. It was, like, something in the caption for it. It was like, damn. Fuck, dude. And actually, honestly, if anyone felt like Alador's redemption arc was a little quick in season 2, it's because it was. They had to change a lot around because they got canned.
I'm still very upset at that, by the way.
I think they did a pretty good job with the time they had, honestly, though. Instead of like taking the original path of Alador's character, they instead recontextualized his behavior of, like, you know, being like, obviously he was being kinder to Ani-MANIC in the moment because he saw that her friends made her magic stronger, and that was something that was pretty obvious to everybody when that episode came out. But honestly, for all intents and purposes, they recontextualize Alador to, like, obviously he wants Amity to succeed and, you know, do right by the Blight name. However, it's recontextualized that it's like he doesn't fully care about Odalia's, you know, mission statement. He doesn't actually care about that, right? It's just that he does the work because he's good at it. It's all been recontextualized. And it's like, even he's, like, not too happy about being taken advantage of, you know? It's like... on the subject of family and animation, the connection between the family may be one of the most endearing aspects of The Ghost and Molly McGee. You said it, squad. You fucking said it. Good lord. That is an under-fucking statement. That show's take on family is as wholesome as something like Bluey, honestly. Well, The Ghost and Molly McGee, if you don't really understand the show, The Ghost and Molly McGee is a comedy. Yeah. It's like, don't go in expecting anything else, because it is a comedy. Unabashedly and hilariously a comedy. A very dark comedy as well, because it, you know, one of the main characters is dead. Still need to see that one too. Oh, Lord. You guys might need to bring The Ghost of Molly McGee as, like, an opener to some movie nights, guys. You ever have those shows? It's like, you know what's so odd to me nowadays? Is that, you know, is that people will, like, they'll want shows to be serialized, have a deep story and lore, and then it's like, when a show does have, you know, some lore elements, but it decides to be a more comedic show, like The Ghost of Molly McGee, they'll call a normal episode fucking filler. And I feel like The Ghost of Molly McGee does it well, whereas Amphibia kind of, you know, kind of a whiplash thing. It's like, Amphibia's, like, change over to, like, having, like, this overarching lore was at least somewhat at odds with its much more lighthearted tone and comedic bent.
I think I'm done with my heartbeat.
Yeah?
Yeah.
She's so fucking pretty.
Thank you.
So damn pretty. Wish the Owl House had more seasons. There's so much to be explored. You're not wrong, but as Dana Terrace said, being limited like this has forced us into some really creative, ideas that we wouldn't have come up with otherwise. So we hope everyone is as happy with what we have come up with as we are. Which is why
That's one way to look at it.
Which is one of the reasons why I really hate the idea that people are like, we got cheated. It's like, you're not the only ones who got cheated. The writers got cheated as well. And you know what they're doing? Instead of, you know, leaving everything as was, they're doing their best to work with what they have. They're doing their damnedest to make sure that the story comes to a satisfying conclusion. I mean, by now, and I do mean by now, like with basically 40 episodes under its belt, when Gravity Falls got to 40 episodes, it was over. Alex Hirsch intended that when we get to 40 episodes and the end of season 2, that's the end of summer and the end of the show, and it ends with a big fucking like apocalyptic finale. So honestly, it's like, for the Owl House to be forced into that decision without being allowed to make that decision really sucks. But the fact that they're doing really good with it, and I mean, one of the things that stuck out to people is that Amity still had the portal key, like, in storyboards for one of the final episodes of this season. So, like, that's how much has changed in terms of, like story progression. Even all the way back in Eclipse Lake, they had to make changes. Right? So it's like... And honestly, it works, though. Because people still agree that that fight scene in Eclipse Lake is one of the best in the show. So it's like... Never say the show, like, didn't give you anything, like, fucking worth it.
Mm-hmm.
So I just can't stand people being like, we got cheated, as opposed to, you know, being satisfied with what we do have. Because ultimately, Dana Terrace is also an alumnus of Gravity Falls. She worked on Gravity Falls. She's dating Alex Hirsch. Alex Hirsch voices at least 2 of the characters on the show. So, there is something to be said that she knows what she's doing, and the crew also know what they're doing. At the same time, it irks me like the fan base is telling Disney that they want more Owl House, but Disney isn't listening. Yeah, no, that is definitely true. They're dating? At least they were. I think they're still dating. You didn't know that? Last I checked, they were dating. But yeah, no, that really does suck because, I mean, everybody remembers when, like, letters were sent to Disney to give Kim Possible a season 4, and they did. So it really sucks that when people are saying, bring back Wander Over Yonder, give it season 3, which I know for a fact, because Craig McCracken is coming back to work on the Powerpuff Girls, yeah, no, it's not out of the question. Craig McCracken would definitely be on board. He would definitely get in on that action. So for people to be like, honestly, Owl House is doing just fine. Where's Wander Over Yonder season 3? That's the real crime here. It's like, it's not when a show is canceled but is going to give you a satisfying ending. It's when a show is canceled and it ends on a fuck you cliffhanger. Because the execs were like, oh, we're just gonna, you know, we're just gonna change things around for season 2. Actually, we're gonna cancel your show. You cool with that? You know, it's like, come the fuck on. And Future Worm. All right, not many people know this, but Future Worm. It's a time traveler character on a Disney XD show called Future Worm, and he time traveled to a Wander Over Yonder season 3, where he has his own outer space pirate ship. What could have been, goddammit? You know, it's you gotta take issues when they cancel a show with absolutely no, like, while leaving the creatives high and dry. You know, it's like, we don't tell you the show's canceled. We don't tell you all this shit. We just, you know, it's like, boop, you're suddenly not working on your show anymore. Goodbye. Wander Over Yonder season 3 just got canceled. And Disney cited ratings. The show was not doing very well in the ratings. It wasn't getting the viewership that they wanted to see the show succeed in their eyes. That's what happened to Wander Over Yonder. And the thing is, that's part of the reason why the Owl House is actually managed to weasel a season 3 out of, like, a truncated season 3, but a season 3 nonetheless. They managed to weasel they managed to weasel a season 3 out of Disney because unlike Wander Over Yonder, Owl House has great viewership. It has beautiful ratings. It's just not the audience they wanted to be watching the show. You know, exactly the same reason why Cartoon Network canceled things like Young Justice or Symbionic Titan. It just wasn't connecting with the audience we wanted it to connect to. It's like, come the fuck on, guys. An audience is an audience. Just because you projected wrong doesn't mean you should cancel your show. Did My Little Pony Friendship's Magic suddenly cancel the show because it was suddenly getting an influx of adult viewership? No. No, in fact, they even acknowledged it and ran with it. So it's kind of like, I wouldn't want every show to do that. I wouldn't want every show to say, oh, we suddenly have a sizable adult audience where we didn't expect there to be, and then cater to that audience in major ways. I wouldn't necessarily ask any show to do that because that's not the point, you know. When you make any show, it's not to, like, cater to, like, your brand new audience and leave your original intended audience in the dust. It's to make the show that you wanted to make, that you were intending to make from the start. So for all intents and purposes, I wouldn't expect every single solitary show under the sun to follow the Friendship is Magic example. It would actually be a detriment if every show followed the Friendship is Magic example, because then suddenly you have a lot of shows that are bending to whatever audience they have. It's like, it's just bullshit. Yeah. Some shows, yeah. And do you think you could elaborate, Weirdo Wolf, about same with Invader Zim, because they kind of lost you there in the the fucking what's
Lost in translation.
Yeah, lost in translation somewhere down there. So I'm gonna need you to clarify that for me. But yeah, no. Invader Zim was supposed to have another season, but it got canceled, and the show ended with a Christmas episode. Yeah. And I'll be honest.
I mean, it did finally get like its sort of grand finale like years later in like 2019 with a movie.
I watched some of the original Invader Zim, but not all of it. It got a little too gross for me. But I did end up watching Enter the Florpus, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you thought Invader Zim was too gross, but you also were still kind of interested in the characters, then I recommend Enter the Florpus. It's a perfect middle ground there. Because you have all the characters that you really wanted to watch, but were too grossed out by the show to watch. So there you go. I think Enter the Florpus is pretty good for that. Yeah. But yeah, I will give Nickelodeon that I shouldn't necessarily, because, you know, corporate, but give Nickelodeon this. At the very least, with the Invader Zim getting canceled, they cited reasons of the show being too scary for their audience, which
I was absolutely terrified.
Which is
of it
not entirely unfair. Like, the show can get pretty fucking horrifying. Like, and it's like, so the Oregon episode creeped some people out. One time a movie theater accidentally showed the episode to a bunch of kids. And the thing is, it's on Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon is a network made specifically for kids. So if your show is scaring your target demographic, it's like, yeah, it's kind of like maybe not the show that you want. And the thing is, like, Disney Channel is, like, main bread and butter, but then they also had, like, Jetix, which eventually spawned off their own, which eventually they, I don't think Jetix is still around, but if it is, they eventually spun off to having, it was like, yeah, it was like, for all intents and purposes, like, fucking, they had Disney XD, which was a separate channel for an older audience, so Disney could move their shows that were gearing older over there. And yeah, I guess if you had Nicktoons, which is the teenager version of Nickelodeon, that makes a lot of sense. But like, was that a separate channel? Because if that's the case, then it makes even less sense than they canned Invader Zim, because if they had a channel for their older audience members, then why would they sacrifice a show that might... And who knows? Like, was the show doing well in the ratings? It's like, did it get the viewership needed in order to, like, you know, support the continued creation of episodes? There's a lot of factors that go into whether or not. Invader Zim was there with Tough Puppy, Sanjay and Craig, Fanboy, and Chum Chum. Interesting. Because then it says to me that there had to have been other reasons, right? Like, because if they didn't have any other reasons, then yeah, they canceled it for bullshit reasons. But like, if they but like, if they could cite like a ratings issue, that would make some sense. See, and that's again, it's like the same reason Wander Over Yonder got canned, and it's like people are loudly crying about that. Hey, you know, what if Wander Over Yonder gets a movie on Disney Plus? I mean, Phineas and Ferb got a movie on Disney Plus, and they already had a movie. So why don't we get a fucking Wander Over Yonder finale movie? That would be great. Just anything, goddammit.
I don't know. No, bitches is what they are.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Signed my piece.
Nice. All right. I'm going to go ahead and switch over the feed to my animation now. This has been a while, and I'm liking the progress that I got going on. Want people to... The Cartoon Network has some great shows like Craig of the Creek. Jetix was actually... Okay, Squad says Jetix was actually heavily criticized by fans of Toon Disney back in the day for gradually taking up more time on the network and robbing fans of non-action Disney cartoons of the shows they wanted. Oh, Jetix was a block of Toon Disney? You mean like they were on the same channel? Or is that Jetix, like, overtook Toon Disney? Oh, man. Network shenanigans, man. Oy vdoy. All right. What about Cartoon Network's the new preschool edition Cartoonito taking up more screen time than the regular network shows? Oh, Cartoonito is not a separate channel. Jetix started off as a 2-hour block on Toon Disney, then it grew to 4 hours on weekends. By the time just before Toon Disney rebranded to Disney XD, Jetix was 12 hours long. Okay. Yeah, that's some bullshit. Like, you know, part of the... Okay, here's the dealio. Cartoon Network having a preschool block. That's the thing. It's like, whenever you do a block on one channel, the whole idea is like that you're catering to an audience that's going to be there to see it. Example? Well, Adult Swim is done at night because adults will definitely be off of work, and Nick Jr. or Disney Jr. are typically done in the earlier morning to to the late morning to early afternoon, when the super young kids are stuck at home, you know, with their parents because they have a stay-at-home parent and not daycare. You know, that's the whole idea for like how you space out those blocks typically. So yeah, for Jetix to do that, like, there are a lot of good Disney cartoons, action-packed Disney cartoons even. So why would they even, like, I don't understand. Cartoonito is on at like noon. No, that's usually the normal time for a little kids thing to be on, because, you know, the older kids are at school and whatnot, right?
Yeah, younger kids tend to get off school at noon.
They tend to get off at school earlier, you know. And then other than that, it's like you have the super young kids who will be watching it. So yeah, no, it's yeah. Now that tracks. That makes a lot of sense. You don't have to like it, and I certainly wouldn't either if I were, you know, someone who still watched like network television, had that, and like it's like, and then Cartoon Network decides to have a little kids block right in the middle of the day. It's like, I wouldn't be a fan of that, but like, what are you gonna do? That's the real question. You can stop giving Cartoon Network money. I'm just glad I can still watch Craig of the Creek. It's such a good show. Yeah. Nah, it is a good show. I've only seen a few episodes, but all of those episodes that I have seen make me want to watch more of the show because it does look so good.
It's cold in my room.
Is?
It's very cold. I'm gonna see if there's more there's still any mac and cheese left, and I'm gonna get.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
It's a good show. There's a lesbian couple, non-binary character, trans character, deaf character, just amazing representation. And the show is headed by a black creator and features a lot of black characters prominently. So there's also that. Yeah, no, I really do want to watch that show, honestly. There's just so much in it. It's like, man, it really harkens back to an era that I'm like, you know, like kids playing outside, just having fun outside. You know, that's the real magic of Craig of the Creek right there, and probably why it appeals to an older generation, because it reminds them of when they didn't have phones or television, or at the very least when they did have those things, when they did have video games and all that jazz. They still spent time outside using their imaginations and having fun. You know, it's like, But yeah, no, it's but yeah, from what I've seen, the show is just of good quality all around. Because of those things, in spite of those things, well, definitely not in spite of those things, but you know what I mean. It's like those things are like they would get people into the show, people like me, but there's something else there, and it's just the sweet like summer days, you know, vibe, you know? That's the heart of Craig of the Creek, honestly. It's the family, it's the friends, it's those summer vibes, you know? It's just spending those days by the creek, you know? That's the deal. That's the deal. That's the whole show right there. Honestly, and it's like they have adventures. It feels so classic. It feels so classic, like, you know, cartoon show vibes, you know? It's like it's not only kids, but it's kids going out and having improbable adventures, like harkening back to older Cartoon Network shows like Kids Next Door in a way, but instead of being spy and espionage, it literally is just the kids going out. And it's not all focused on Craig. Are you taking a dig at Steven Universe? Are you taking a dig at Steven Universe with that comment? Because that sounds like a dig at Steven Universe with that comment. Because that's exactly what that sounds like. Because that is one of the... Because that's a pretty common criticism of Steven Universe. I knew it! Called out! Shots fired! I knew it! Because that sounded like one of the... Because like one of the things that people complain about in Steven Universe is that it's like, if a tree falls in the forest and Steven isn't around to hear it, does the forest even exist? It's like, that seems to be like the fucking one, like, major criticism that, honestly, Steven Universe Future and also the Steven Universe movie did not fix, in spite of everything. Like, perfect opportunity to do so, but, like, I don't know. It's like, just give us one scene in any given episode where you can just cut away and not feature the character at all, just in any way, shape, or form. Again, a lot of them, like when there's an episode that Steven's not in, it's a story being told to Steven. It's like, it's bullshit. It's, come on. In any other piece of media, I'd understand somewhat if Steven Universe was supposed to be like some kind of first-person narrative, but other shows with the main character's name in the title don't feature as much, you know, fucking hand-holding the main character as Steven Universe did. That all having been said, I do love all the characters in Steven Universe. Like, if there is something to be said about Steven Universe, it's like like Chowder? I've seen jokes in Chowder. Like, I haven't watched a lot of Chowder, but like, yeah, I guess, or do you mean Chowder is like an example of a show where the main character's name is in the title where not every scene focuses on him? Because if that's the case, then yes. I haven't watched the show, but it sounds like whenever Steven's not on screen, other characters should be asking, where's Steven? That is actually a perfect way to describe it. Yeah, it's just like glued on to Steven 25/8/366. Just like, they cannot escape the universe. The Steven Universe. Boom, boom. Whenever Poochie's not around, other characters should be asking, "Where's Poochie?" But yeah, no. I like the different AU's fandoms when regarding shows like Owl House or Steven Universe. Interesting. Do tell. So for me, AU is a very interesting world to explore. Particularly for me, AU I find fun to explore in the realms of fan fiction. Like, take the super awesome, spectacular thing and then bring it to a mundane thing like a coffee shop. I can really get behind that because coffee shops are relatable to me. Superhero antics are not.
I'm back and I have mac and cheese.
Yes, you got some cheese, Mac.
Yes.
Let's see. Like the Owl House, I've never seen one where Luz... Oh, yes! These ones are super fun! Luz is a witch in the human world, or Steven Universe for Steven. You just switch pink with one of the other diamonds. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, 1, 2, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. I want to stay relatively. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10. But yeah. You know, we brought up Hilda and her mother in terms of animated families. And, like, a lot of animated families tend to suck. And what I want to know is where in we have the animated families like Hilda and her mother who are just awesome. You know, where are the good animated families?
The family in Bob's Burgers is a really good family.
Oh, I've heard, yeah. I don't have a lot of interest in the show, but I did watch an episode where one of the daughters was doing a school play about Topsy the elephant.
Yeah.
And they'll go, "Aw, Topsy, at my aw, Topsy." It's like, that's stuck in my brain forever. It's just really fucking funny to me. But yeah, no, Bob's Burgers is definitely a good example. One of the earliest good animated families was Professor Utonium and the Powerpuff Girls. Yes. Yes. That's a good one. On the topic of Craig McCracken...
Don't worry, Professor. My family says I was a mistake, too.
Like, alright.
My mommy says I'm an accident too. But like, I know what you're watching.
Huh?
I know what that audio is. I've heard that before.
Want to send the TikTok I'm watching?
Yeah.
I
It
will
all
send you the-
it all went wrong.
Oh no! It all went wrong. There it is.
Sending it to me.
Mhm.
Ah. All right. We'll watch that post stream. Which, speaking of which, I just realized. I think. Yeah. Actually, I just realized we have run out the clock here.
Oh boy!
Yep. Stream is over now. So
Glad
yeah.
you guys got to see my heartbeat.
Yeah, beautiful harpy. Let's bring that baby on screen again. Beautiful harpy. This is the time of the video where I would like to thank all of my beloved patrons on Patreon, but I don't have any. If you'd like to be the first to help support the nonsense that I do here and some future animated cartoons, follow the link in the description below. Thank y'all so much for joining us, and if you're viewing this after the fact, thanks for watching. And remember to take care, stay safe, and be kind in all that you do. Good night, everybody!
Eat a llama.